Joel chapter 2, verse 28. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions. And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit, and I will shew wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire, and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord YAHAWASHI came. All praises, glory, and honors to Yahweh, YAHAWASHI, Bahasham, Bracha, HaKodash, and double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. I'm your brother Marco training Great Millstone Jamaica camp with a lesson to feed the elect to the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI. Now, basically, this one is about a dream that I had today. So, I just want to speak about it. And basically, in this dream, YAHAWASHI came. Now, it's a dream, and I think it's a spiritual. Dream. Also, I'm gonna make mention of what I can remember in the dream and what happened. But note, not everything that I'm about to speak in the dream, it basically happen. It will happen, as I dreamt it, according to prophecy on how things will play out. Nevertheless, based off of the dream that I had, which I believe in my spirit that it's not just a regular dream. It was like what we would separate and call a vision. Some part of it. Let me say that or should I say there are spiritual lessons or edification behind this dream that's important to the flock. And I'm going to try my best through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, to speak it as I remember it. Alright, so without any further ado, I have a bone condition, right, called osteoporosis. So, it basically, I lack magnesium. So the calcium is not going back to the bone, which I learned, this year, which basically is some problems to. Basically, I'm facing some problems because of the condition. So anyway, so I've been working on myself because through the spirit of the Lord, it can be reversible. Now, why do I make mention of that? I make mention of that because in the dream, there's a place in Port Antonio where I'm from that is called Carter Park. So it's a football field. In America, brothers would call it soccer. It's a football field. And it's a place like where recreational things happen. So this place that I was at, it was like Carter Park. So in the dream, basically, I was, at the Carter Park exercising, and there were tents there. There was a lot of people there. It was like a fair, but I was there and other brothers was there. I can't make mention of like this brother was there and that other brother was there, but we were exercising, trying to get our fitness and our health up. But while we were exercising, we were just doing what we were told by the instructors, not to be rude, but behind that, we were also watching what's taking place over there in the Levant, which they call the Middle East, Western Asia. And the mass majority of the people that was there, they were not in tune to what's happening. But we were exercising, and we was brothers. I can remember some brothers had like a radio. You remember them radio that you used to walk with on the shoulders, like in the 90s? Brothers have a radio like that. And we were listening to like international news, and they were speaking about planes seeing things and helicopters seeing things, and they were migrating. So we were there looking at each other, and we were saying, and the news was making report that we were supposed to prepare because everything is getting worse and whatever, and it's happening now, and chaos is here, and we were looking at each other exercising, and we were in the know. We was looking also on the people that was there. So while we was looking at the people that was there, yeah, they were just exercising, having a fun time, and I could remember specifically. I don't know what the name of this exercise is called, but it's an exercise that's been done in the military where they have a rope and you have to climb the rope. But I think I tried climbing the rope, and while I was going up on the rope, my strength wasn't as strong as I thought, so I couldn't go up any further on the rope. But while I was on the rope, I looked up, and there was a lot of helicopters, and these helicopters, they were not from Jamaica. They were helicopters that basically they were different type of gunships and different types of helicopter, and they were fleeing from something that they saw in the sky. Yeah, they were fleeing, and we were looking, and we were praising YAHAWASHI. I think it was two of them land where we were, and the pilots came out running, and everybody was looking like, well, the people that wasn't in the know was looking like, what is this? They were not alert, but we that were in the know, we were very alert to what's taking place. So anyhow, we realized that chaos was in the streets and stuff, and it would seem as if the chaos started in the east and it was gradually coming over in the west. But no, I can't remember how the dream flipped, but I could remember that I was in a place called Bellevue, where my mother was from. My mother was there, my daughter was there, and basically I taught my daughter the names of YAHAWASHI. And in the dream, we were there, and I was tired, and I think it was the exercise that I was doing in the dream that made me to be tired. But while I was there, it's like YAHAWASHI came, our Lord came, but he didn't. There was no bombs dropping or anything like that. But he came, and he was like sending messages to various brothers and telling brothers what to do and whatever. But he was coming to Bellevue. It was a young man, of dark complexion. See, I couldn't really saw his face perfectly, but like the figure. And basically, I wanted to sleep because I was so tired. But when I'm trying to remember, bear with me, Baba Kosha, I'm trying to remember the dream, because I think I waited a little bit too long because of privacy to do this lesson. I should have did it before. But in that dream, he was walking, and he had a lot of brothers with him walking, and I wanted to sleep. And I could remember Shapar came and was telling me that YAHAWASHI is out here and wanted whatever. And I said, really? So I decided not to go to sleep, and we were shouting, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. And we were like the people, but I realized that the people where we are, most of them were believers. YAHAWASHI. And I was at the house, I was shouting along with them. All of us was shouting, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. And same time.